Once upon a time, in a small village located in a remote part of the world, there was a wise and respected Zen master named Zenko. He was known throughout the village for his deep understanding of Zen philosophy and his ability to guide others on the path to enlightenment. Zenko had spent many years traveling across the country, teaching and spreading the teachings of Zen. During his travels, he had met many different people and learned valuable life lessons from each of them. One day, while Zenko was resting under a large tree, a young man named Mark approached him. Mark had heard a lot about Zenko's profound wisdom and decided to visit him to seek solutions to the problems he was facing in his life. Mark was deeply troubled by the fact that the people around him did not respect him and often treated him poorly. He sought guidance to find true happiness and contentment. Zenko welcomed Mark with a warm smile and invited him to sit beside him. After settling down, Mark opened his heart to Zenko, sharing his difficulties and the pain he felt because of the people who did not appreciate him. Mark asked Zenko to help him identify genuine and true people in his life to alleviate his inner pain. Zenko began to tell him a story about 5 types of people to avoid and with whom one should never be friends in order to find peace and joy in life. Once there was a young man named Paul who lived in a bustling city. Paul had many friends and enjoyed spending time with them, engaging in various activities. However, over time, he began to notice that some of his friends were influencing him negatively. The first type of people Paul realized he needed to distance himself from were the gossipers. These friends were always engaged in idle talk, spreading rumors and creating negativity. Paul found that every time he spent time with them, his mind was filled with useless and harmful thoughts. Therefore, he decided to avoid this type of friends and started focusing on cultivating positive relationships. The second type of people Paul chose to avoid were the critics. These friends always had something negative to say about others, constantly finding faults and criticizing their actions. Paul soon realized that this constant negativity was affecting his outlook on life. He understood the importance of surrounding himself with people who uplifted and inspired him, rather than dragging him down with constant criticism. The third type of person Paul decided to distance himself from was the manipulator. This friend had a way of distorting situations to serve his own interests, often at the expense of others. Paul noticed that every time he spent time with this friend, he felt drained and used. Recognizing the toxic nature of this friendship, he decided to let it go and prioritize his own well-being. The fourth type of person Paul understood he needed to let go was the envious one. This friend was always comparing himself to others, feeling constantly inadequate and resentful of their success. Paul realized that true happiness comes from appreciating and celebrating the achievements of others. He knew that surrounding himself with people who supported and encouraged him could foster a sense of fulfillment and gratitude. Finally, the fifth type of person Paul knew he needed to distance himself from was the doubter. This friend would always question Paul's abilities and dreams, casting a shadow of uncertainty over his aspirations and ambitions. Paul recognized the importance of having friends who believed in him and his potential. He realized that surrounding himself with positive and supportive people would help him build self-confidence and achieve great things in life. As Zenko finished the story, Mark remained deep in contemplation. He realized the wisdom in Zenko's words and understood the importance of choosing friends wisely. He thanked Zenko for his guidance and enlightenment, vowing to reflect on those 5 types of people to avoid in order to find true happiness and fulfillment in life. From that day forward, Mark embarked on a journey of self-discovery and personal growth. He carefully evaluated his friendships, seeking to cultivate those that brought positivity and inspiration, gradually distancing himself from those that hindered his progress. Over time, he found himself surrounded by a circle of friends who shared his values and supported his aspirations. Together, they walked the path of righteousness, helping each other along the way. The story of Zenko and Mark serves as a timeless reminder that in our lives, we must be mindful of the type of people we surround ourselves with. By letting go of gossipers, critics, manipulators, the envious, and the doubters, we create space for positive influences and cultivate an environment that brings impactful and life-changing effects to our lives. We can all find the strength to choose our friends wisely and walk the path to true happiness and enlightenment. What do you think of this life lesson? Let me know in the comments. I wish you to live in peace forever, and I'll always be here on the channel, The Secret of Samadhi. See you soon.